Hi guys, my name is Stephanie Iman. I am a Kenyan citizen currently in Kharkiv, Ukraine. I really don't know how to even start this. You know that time when you really don't know what is gonna happen next and you're just hoping for like the best. You're making the best out of a situation. So I'm in that kind of a situation right now. I'm currently at home and I just thought instead of like worrying about all this stuff and just like spending the rest of my evening feeling so bad that I'm in this situation, then maybe I will just like make this video and give you guys a little bit more of insight of what is happening, especially with me being a Kenyan citizen in Ukraine. Okay, where to start? I really don't know where to start, honestly. I'm in that place where like I'm super confused. To start with, here's my situation. I have a baby, and I felt like whenever we were bringing her here, I thought that it would be the best place for her to be, especially because every child needs her parents. And me studying, it would have taken like 4 years, 5 years for me to actually finish my degree. And a kid without her parent for 5 years, for me, it just didn't rub well. So I thought this would have been the best situation. So now we're at war with Russia. I have never ever been in an environment where there's this much pressure. So some decisions that I have to make, I really have to make them knowing that if you fuck up, if you mess up in any way, it's gonna bite you literally. So to give you a better understanding of what is happening, first of all, Ukraine is in that state where it doesn't belong anywhere. It's not in NATO, it's not in European Union, it just stands by itself, right? And it's a small, okay, compared to Russia, like Russia, I think I believe is a superpower, and Ukraine is just a country by itself. So this makes things so complicated when it comes to trying to resolve the issues, because it being by itself, the NATO cannot fight a war that's not theirs, and European Union can also not fight a war that belongs to them, that's not theirs. And that's why the Americans are willing to send their weapons, and they're willing to send any help that does not involve military or their military interfering, because if they interfered, it would be like them fighting a war that's not theirs. And it gets really hard because if you compare the Russian army and the Ukrainian army, it's you can't even compare, because of course Russians have the best, it has like one of the best army of all time. So this gets really weird because people like me, people like the Ukrainians, first of all, apart from, I feel like I have a little bit of leverage because I have the Kenyan embassy, who I hope are gonna like get back to me and like get back to us as the Kenyans in Ukraine. But how about the simple Ukrainian? How about my friends, the people that I've known here in Ukraine who do not have an embassy that can maybe stand up for them? They just have their government. Here's a short story of how I woke up, how I started my day. Today is 24th. It's officially the first day that the bombing and the real tension has begun. I'll tell you guys how I woke up. So the previous day, not the previous day literally, because I get home from 12 midnight from work, and I slept at around 1:10. I have to always wake up every day at 7:30, so that by 8:30 my daughter is in school. Her school is literally next door from this building, so it's not such a huge struggle. So at around 6:30 or 6:40, I wake up to my sister storming the room, and she's like, "You're sleeping, and the city is being bombed." So from all the slumber and all the good dreams that I was having, I instantly go on panic mode like this. And I wake up quickly, I go to the window, I look outside, the whole place is deserted, and there is a woman who's like literally running. I'm sorry guys, she's behind there like having her own time, like we're just gonna move on. So like I will look outside the window, and there's this woman who was running, and it wasn't necessarily a woman like running because there was tension or anything. Probably it was just because she was in a hurry, but just because we had the explosions and everything, my head instantly goes to, oh my goodness, it is that day, the trumpets will be blowing, it is this day that everything just spills out, and like it's like my fate is literally just determined today. And I felt so bad and so helpless because, first of all, this little girl who's literally behind me, I don't know how to protect her. I literally don't know. Like, yeah, when it is something that you actually can control, yeah, that's a whole other thing. But this war, first of all, I'm a foreigner. I've never, ever experienced anything like this, considering that I'm from Kenya. Tuta, please get out of this room. I'm trying to film something. Get out. Please?
No.
Why?
No.
Okay, then keep quiet. That time I felt kind of helpless because, first of all, I have never experienced anything like this before. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know that this would have been the day. Yeah, there has been news and everybody, there has always been that tension that there was going to be war. But then we have always been encouraged that we don't need to panic. We don't need to be scared of anything because there are peaceful, democratic negotiations going on. And considering that I was in close contact with our girl, just let me do my job. I'm gonna kick this girl out of this room. 1 second. Considering that I was trying to say this. And considering that I was in close contact with the consulate, and the consulate, we had a meeting and they said that they'll communicate to us whenever, like, if anything, if we need to actually leave the place. I just relaxed, you know. I'm this kind of person who, I have really bad anxiety, but then I try as much as possible to not overthink things, as much as I'm the biggest overthinker. So for this period, I think it was just my defense mechanism. Like, I was just like, chill out, nothing is gonna happen. And then I woke up, I wake up to bombs and news, people calling me. They're like, oh my gosh, Stephanie, are you okay? You need to get out of the country. You need to leave ASAP. You know, Poland, you can go to Poland, you can go to any other part of the country, you know. But the news says the airports are closed, so you can't also travel anywhere. In addition, traveling to different cities, we were not sure of, like, which city was next, what city would be bombed next. They were telling us, like, move towards this other side of Kharkiv that's not being attacked. But then again, what if? Not only that, there's also this aspect where, like, there was only one train. We actually tried looking for, like, a train that we would actually get ASAP to just leave this place. And for the three of us, a ride that would go for, like, at most, like, $100 at most. It wouldn't even get to $100. It would get to, like, maybe $75 or $50. It's now $200 for the three of us. So we decided, okay, first of all, we know that we can't leave. We literally can't leave. We have to stay for now. So strategies, we decided, okay, so we need to figure out how we're going to have food. We're going to figure out how we're going to have money in hand. And I also have to mention, by the way, the rate of the dollar has gotten to 29.29, which is the highest that I've seen it go since I have been to Ukraine. Yesterday it was at 30. I think, yeah, 30 is the highest, yeah, that I've seen it go. So banks are closed. Okay, so everything is normal on this side, but on this side, look, all these people are waiting to access private bank. What I can see here is there's a huge line towards the ATM, which honestly, the line extends up to, like, way over there. Let me just go back. Over there. There's actually no hope for me to actually get money because the line is just super huge. Even Yeva, a place where you buy supplies, they've closed down their shops. Markets are also closed, so you can't just go in and buy food. So I was like, okay, supermarkets, oh my gosh, supermarkets, they were so full and everyone was just trying to stock as much as possible. I tried, I really tried. No bread. The lines are so huge. sorry guys, I had to put on my glasses because I felt like this light is kind of affecting me. I know it's literally reflecting everything. I'm sorry guys, but the light is just, it's too much on my eyes, so I just had to do this. Anyways, so the supermarkets are so full, lines are like super long, guys trying to stock up as much as they can. And I by chance, like, God was like with me. I got the last bit of tissue paper and I was like, hallelujah, God, you are good. We won't suffer when it comes to like the tissue paper and stuff. But then I need to tell you guys what was exactly happening in the city. So usually for ride that will take like 5 or 10 minutes to come, the tram took like 20 minutes to just come. And take me to like the metro. At the metro, we usually pay like 8 grievance to access it, but because of this whole situation, the whole metro system was open, everything was free. And that is one thing that I really like I'm telling you, the Ukrainian government, they really care about these people. Metro systems are now free. You can literally just go in and go out free. So going into the tram, into the metro, so I see all these bags and stuff and I'm thinking like, oh, probably they just want to go to the closest vokzal. Probably they that came up and maybe I didn't catch it, I didn't see it, so I'd probably have to go again and look if there's the train or anything. And the metro comes, I go in and another metro comes in and nobody is standing to go out, to go into, to like go in. And they're literally just seated there. And I also noticed like at the entrance of the metro, like literally after you go down the steps, there's also a water fountain that was never there. So I'm like, what's happening? It took a minute for me to realize that turns out the metro stations are like the bomb points, like the points where like in case bombing happens or in case there is unrest on the city, guys will just rush to the metro because it's underground and it's sealed, so nothing bad can happen to them. And it instantly got me panicking because guys would just walk around with their pets, literally their bags, they've packed like the slightest of their belongings, and they just look like so sad. Like you can definitely tell the vibe from there. Everybody was just excuse me, you can definitely tell from the vibe and everything, nobody wants to be there. And that just got me like thinking like, Putin is so fucking mean. Like I believe there would have been a better way to solve this without having to involve like residents. Like I thought like gone are those days when we'd have to be worried about World War III. Oh, and another thing, when I was finishing like shopping, I'm sorry that my whole story is just all over. It's just coming to me in bits and I feel like I just need to capture them in the moment. And once I was done shopping, I called a taxi to head home. And as I was standing and waiting, the same noises that I had like right now, like 3 consecutive noises, pam, 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 is the same thing that I had. And I feel like it was kind of an explosion. Yes, it was an explosion because it was confirmed that there was a bomb activity 37 minutes from where I live. And afterwards, like there was a tanker and a lorry, like, you know, those military military lorry. And there was this guy who was he was like on the loudspeaker trying to pass a message, which I honestly didn't understand because my Russian is not that good. And when I got into the taxi, I asked the taxi driver what was happening, and he said like they were just announcing that the war had begun. And I got nervous because yeah, the war has begun. So I don't know what to expect. Like there's nothing as bad as like you going into something when you don't have any knowledge about it. So I'd like to also give you guys like some tips that I got from my husband, who has been in such a situation before, because he was here when there was the Sumi fight in 2014. And he kept saying like things like, just make sure that you have as much dollars on you as possible, because right now is the time where dollars are going up. and it's an advantage to have that. And also try as much as possible to account for your luggage, especially that part of luggage that has your documents. I remember, like, there's one time that my husband was coming from Kenya to Ukraine. And by chance, you know, like, accidents can happen, and by chance his postvidka card fell off at the airport. And he cannot come into Ukraine, first of all, without his postvidka, because it's the one document that proves that you are actually here. So he had to go back to Kenya and file again, go to the embassy and do all that process, just because of this one tiny little card. So whatever documents you have, just make sure that you have them safe. Make sure that you have power banks, you have, like, just anything to make sure that you have your phone on, just for the sake of communication. And also, like, I'd advise, which I'm really trying as much as possible right now, to not panic, and do not feel pressured that you're not doing the right thing, which is something I'm also really trying to do right now, because girl, I'm so nervous. I do not know what's gonna happen. I do not know if I'm gonna sleep right now and wake up, like, tomorrow with no bombing or anything. So after this, literally, I have not even packed anything, which is a shame that I'm even saying it here. So after this, I'm gonna, like, pack up and do stuff real quickly before I edit this to post. And also, I'd also want to let you guys know that we are all in this together, whether you're Ukrainian or not. We all are in Ukraine, and we need to support each other in whichever way that we can. Another thing is, I've been in Ukraine since 2019. It might not sound like a really long time, but it's been, especially the fact that I've gone through COVID here, and now we have to go through this. Like, I have made a certain kind of bond with this country, and I found I really love this place as much as I have some people who are always like, for me, I've just found a love for this country, and for the friends that I've made here, and for the family that I have here. Like, I really, like, I really sympathize with the Ukrainians who are having to get derailed and just their life stop, and my heart felt sympathy, if that makes sense. And we're all in this together. Nevertheless, I hope everything will be fine, and that this can be resolved as soon as possible, and that everybody's life will just go back to normal, and we can just focus on how to be filthy fucking rich. And I'm gonna keep you guys updated in case of any upcoming events, in case of, like, any out of the norm situation that happens. And I am fine, guys. I am very fine. As you can see, I'm literally even in the house. Everything is okay. As of now, everything you hear from the news is a little bit exaggerated, because, you know, news reporters, they'll always want to add a little bit of gist so that, like, it can look a little bit bigger. So thank you so much for watching this video. It was nice talking to you guys about exactly what's happening on the ground. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on what exactly I will face, as this is just my perspective. And also, let's just keep maintaining the positive vibe, the hope that everything will just go back to normal, and we'll resume our classes and, like, get ourselves to that point where we wanted to be. And also, I think that is it. Bye-bye.